Illegal screens require contact. You'll see a couple times in the game where the screeners trying to get set up are in position to screen the defender, and they're moving, but there's little to no contact occurring. Because the coach sees this action of someone trying to screen and they're moving and they're not stationary, and they immediately yell illegal screen. When we are reffing the game of basketball, not only do we have to take into factor if the defender is impeded, but what type of contact occurred. 99% of the time, that little to no contact has no effect on the defender and does not impede the defender, and we do not have a call on it because it doesn't meet the criteria of an illegal screen. In FIBA, on made free throws, only the shooter can violate to cancel the basket. On a free throw, if I'm shooting the free throw and my teammate steps in the lane who's on offense and I make the shot, it does not cancel my basket. That happens in other leagues. The only time my basket is canceled is if I violate while I'm shooting the free throw or after I release the free throw. If I violate, then the basket does not count. Only the back of the backboard and the supports, which holds up the backboard, are out of bounds. So the supports, like the metal bars that hold it to the wall or the ceiling, and in some cases a wire that helps lift it or move it out of the way, those are out of bounds. That means the bottom of the backboard is not out of bounds. That means the sides of the backboard are not out of bounds. That means the top of the backboard are not out of bounds. You could even have a case where the ball goes over the backboard and lands in bounds because the way the setup is for the supports have an opening at the top. So you could have plays where the ball goes over and bounces in bounds and is still live because it did not hit the back of the backboard or the supports, or it did not go out of bounds. When airborne, your location is where you left the court. Two examples come to mind that frequently happen in a game is the out of bounds situation, where someone will jump from outside the boundary lines and play the ball, and when you call out of bounds, they go, I'm in the air, I'm not touching out of bounds. How's it out of bounds? Well, anytime you're airborne, it's where your last location was, and if you are jumping from outside the boundary lines, then you are out of bounds when you play the ball. If you were to take off from inside the boundary lines and catch or pass the ball while you're airborne, then that is a legal play. The other scenario that happens is the ball that returned to backcourt. So a teammate will be trailing and we're on offense. I've established front court status. I throw the ball back to my teammate. They realize that they don't want a ball returned to backcourt violation, so they immediately jump from the backcourt, catch the ball in the air, and land in the front court. Well, as we stated, your last location is where you took off from. So when that ball gets passed and you jump from the backcourt status, you catch in the air, you still have backcourt status, which is a ball returned to backcourt violation. Even though this is a FIBA edition, the step-through is legal in all rule books across the world. I made a whole video on it due to the controversy surrounding if it's a legal move, but it tends to be more debated in the United States. But I still get the odd question about it. You can watch the other video for a more in-depth breakdown in the different rule sets for why it's legal. But for a simple overview, you are allowed to leave your pivot foot as long as you shoot or pass before the pivot foot comes back down. In reality, you need to leave your pivot foot to do a layup, and that's why it's clearly legal. It's essential to the game of basketball.